this is Jim Harvey, president of Opus 111 Group, and this is the second in our series of videos about 529 plans. The title of this one is Qualified versus Non-Qualified Expenses for 529 Plan Distributions. Okay, so you've set up a 529 plan, and now you're trying to figure out what can I spend money on that's qualified, therefore I don't have to pay taxes, or what isn't. So you've put in the hard work of saving for it. Now it's time to start using those plan assets to help a family member's education-related costs. But before you begin withdrawing those funds, it's important to understand the difference between qualified and non-qualified expenses. Now, we have a chart that if you were interested in receiving it, please contact our office. We'd be happy to send it to you, which outlines the differences between these as it applies to various typical education expenses. So let's first start with qualified expenses for tuition and fees. First of all, the requirements are that the colleges must be accredited and eligible for the U.S. Department of Education Student Aid Program. Certain K through 12 eligible programs are also, but it varies by state. And then registered apprenticeship programs are also it has to be a registered apprenticeship program for spending money on tuition and fees to be considered qualified and therefore not subject to any tax liabilities. Important considerations is there's a limit of $10,000 per year for any K through 12 programs and schools that your kids might be involved in, and only certain foreign institutions qualify. All right, the second category is books, supplies, and equipment. So for books, supplies, and equipment, it must be college courses only, and it must be required for the course, and required equipment includes tools for apprenticeship programs. Other important considerations for books, supplies, and equipment are items may be purchased from anywhere, for example, Amazon, and you must keep evidence of the requirement, that is the course syllabus that says you need this tool or you need this book. Special needs services, this is only for college courses only, and you must show a connection to enrollment or attendance. Now, with respect to room and board, it's only college courses only, and the maximum amount is the greater of either one, the actual charge for residents and school-operated housing, or two, the annual financial aid cost of attendance for room and board and amount for that school. So as an example, I know that some parents will buy a condo somewhere close to a university their kid is going to. And so you obviously would not be, charging stuff for the actual school, but whatever the financial aid cost of attendance, room and board for that school would be the amount that you could take out of a 529 plan to reimburse yourself for the for the room and board. Other important considerations: you must be enrolled at least half-time, credit hours defined by the school. And for off-campus housing, contact the school's financial aid office for applicable costs and attendant amounts, as I just referred to it. Another area that is a typical expense is computers, computer hardware, software, and internet access. Again, the requirement is for college courses only and must be used primarily by the 529 plan beneficiary and during the years of enrollment. Another important consideration: software should be predominantly education in nature. Now, another expense that you may not know about is repaying student loan debt. In order to qualify, it must be principal and interest payments toward the qualified education loans of the 529 plan beneficiary or the siblings of the plan beneficiary. There is a lifetime limit of $10,000 for the plan beneficiary and an additional $10,000 per sibling of the plan beneficiary. In addition, another important consideration is that interest that is paid with 529 plans will not be eligible for the student loan interest deduction. So those are the qualified expenses. What are the non-qualified expenses? Okay, so non-qualified expenses are transportation and travel costs, An important consideration there is often a concern for out-of-state students. And even if for travel to and from campus during holiday times, no travel costs qualify. Health insurance is not a qualified expense, even for a health plan provided by the student's school. Extracurricular activity fees, only tuition costs and fees are qualified. Additional activity fees are not. Student loan payments in excess of current qualified expense limits are considered non-qualifying. And then finally, application and testing fees. Preparatory fees are not qualified. 529 distributions are limited to tuition and fees associated with the current enrollment. So please note, just because an expense is non-qualified, it doesn't mean the 529 plan funds cannot be considered a source of payment. The main consequence of paying non-qualified expenses from the 529 plan is that the gains portion of that distribution will be subject to tax, and it could be assessed a 10% penalty, depending. So, for more information on 529 plans, referred to as, quote, qualified tuition programs, unquote, and for examples of tax and coordination calculations, see the Qualified Tuition Program section of the IRS publication 970. This is Jim Harvey, and if you would like to learn more about 529 plans and how they can benefit not only funding education, but some other applications as well, such as estate planning, please contact Opus 111 Group at opus111group.com or give us a call at 206-283-2345. We hope you found this interesting and informative, and thank you very much for tuning in.